taking the video of her, does it with complete impunity, does it numerous times. We are talking about a bona fide, unquestionable racist. And so I don't understand why what you've just said to me bears any relation to white unity or anything that you've just said. She's just a racist. Isn't she? You wouldn't dispute that.
Well, it's not about her. It's not about her. It's about
it is about
people
her.
Coming together and supporting another white person. And it doesn't matter.
Why would you want to support a white racist?
Because I want to support free speech, and you cannot have free speech in the country.
No, that's fine. You can support free speech, but you also have to be accountable for what you say.
Yeah, so this part I think is silly, like when they say, hey, I want to support free speech. Okay, I get what you're saying, and I am in support of free speech as well. I think anyone, should have the ability to say whatever they want to say, and I should have the ability to react any way I want to react. So with free speech comes consequence. Nothing is truly free. There's always going to be a consequence to the things that you say and to the things that you do, is because we're human beings of agency and we can't control other human beings. Every human being has agency. So with that being said, it's dumb when you say, well, I am in support of free speech, but why are you in support of a negative, demeaning term? Like that term is like, okay, I'm in support of, I don't cuss at all. The chat knows me. I don't say the F word. I don't say any of those words.
Shout out to Cooley, man.
But
That's
I do say the N word every now and then.
You slip it out.
Look, nigga this, nigga that, nigga please. Yeah. You get what I'm saying.
Right.
But so it's like, and it's not that the word was used, because I got white friends. Do my white friends say the N-word? No, they do not. Mm-hmm. But have I been around white people that use the N-word, but it wasn't negative? Maybe they're rapping a song and they're in our culture a little bit, so they're using it, and they're not using it to degrade me or insult me. That's a little bit different. But this woman is literally talking about, she wants to defend the insult of the N-word. Not just white people saying it like, hey, you know what? I want to defend the N-word. If I'm rapping a 50 Cent song, I want to say the nigga in there. It's like, that makes a little bit more sense, but it's still weird, but it makes a little bit more sense. But she wants to defend the insult of the word, meaning when a white person has negative feelings towards someone and they hate someone and they want to call someone an N-word. So that's a little bit different. What's your take on that, Marquette?
Someone like this must be eliminated because they are someone filled with hatred, and there's no cure to that. That's what we have to understand, is that these persons are extraordinarily dangerous. And I also am one who believes in freedom of speech. I believe the individual should have the freedom to say what they want without the government censoring them or hauling them off to jail. So if one wanted to walk down, Boulevard in Harlem and keep yelling out the N-word, they should be able to do it. The government should not stop them. However, if the people decide to take action, they can take action, and they will suffer the full extent of the law, whether that law that they break be assault, murder, or otherwise. And so we have to realize that with small government, we will have freedom of speech, but freedom of speech will never trump or control how people may react to you. But what we see with this woman, and this is very common in the space, is that they cloak their hatred by claiming that it's about freedom of speech, when really it's about racism and them promoting their anti-Black white supremacist agenda. And the great irony is you'll hear these types engage in all sorts of deluded thinking. They'll say things like, go back to Africa. Fine, let's go back to Africa. Are you going to go back to Europe and leave this land to the natives who are originally from here, be those natives Native Americans or those other populations who claim that they came before Columbus? So basically, you have a group of people who are irrational, and their irrationality can be best understood as a fight for genetic survival. It's a subconscious driving force in these white supremacists who believe that because they are genetically recessive, they will basically experience intermixing of the races and they will cease to exist. Now, who's mostly holding this fear? It's mostly weak white males, not normal, good-looking, tall white guys. It's the Nick Fuentes types, small, puny, nerd types, and he is in fact a virgin, and they believe that someone like you, Cooley, big tall black guy, is going to take all the good white women and they're going to be left mateless. And as you observe in nature, there's a struggle for mates. And that's precisely why they utilize racism, because they're under the false idea that if big black handsome guys like Marquette and David Cooley weren't taking their girls, they'd be able to get some girls. And frankly, that's not the case, because women go toward the top of the triangle. And this argument is very meaningful when you look at, for example, the leadership of the Nazi Party. They were all like a little bit weird. Only one of them was really a stud. Adolf had that bulbous nose that actually looked Jewish. He had narrow shoulders and dark hair. Joseph Goebbels had a club foot. He was very puny, extremely ugly. And you look at Himmler and all the other guys, they were pretty pathetic in terms of the Aryan ideal. They weren't those big Teutonic giants of men. And even as Europeans go, Europeans are pretty tall. Like, I'm in Europe right now, and a lot of these chicks are looking eye to eye. I'm like, shorty, 6'2" out here. So the fact of the matter is, it's the weak elements, and the reason they love racism, white supremacy in particular, is because of this. If you are nothing as an individual, you can feel like something as a part of a group. You see, me, I don't have to say black people are the best, because as an individual, I have accolades, I have wealth, I have power, I have influence. So I don't have to identify with a group that's powerful, because I have power. But if you're puny, weak, unattractive, low value on the sexual marketplace, then you need to identify with this group and say, I'm important because of the group I belong to. And you get even more of a boost of ego saying, I'm better than these other people. They're beneath me. Notice this girl is butt ugly. And then Nick Fuentes is small, puny, and a virgin. It's never the tall, good looking, strong Aryan Superman that the weaklings speak about that's leading the charge of racism. Never happens.
That is true. That is true.